think he also falls under the category of a lot like a Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan in WWE, where while yes, Bryan won the world championship, he was never the guy, regardless of popularity and being able to sell merch and everything like that. Jey Uso's a guy that has overachieved in his career, I think, right? If you go back to the early days of him and his brother as a tag team, them really not finding a footing for a while there, and then they pivot and they find their groove as baby faces, and they reinvent themselves as heels, and they go on and have just epic matches with the New Day and various other tag teams. They are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Then you look at his transition of going from being just a tag team player to being into a faction that has changed course of wrestling history in the Bloodline, then him splitting away, him going into being a singles guy. Like, so much has happened with Jey Uso, right? And I think you have to look at that, and I think you have to appreciate what they've been able to do, right? And I also think that there is a situation in which Jey Uso's been a guy that has actually benefited from Vince McMahon's departure, right? And that leads me to this video, or this topic, rather. Look, CM Punk, he really recently actually made headlines because of the comments in which he made about Vinnie Mac, right? Because, look, CM Punk, he's made his big WWE return at Survivor Series in November. And he has talked about in a recent interview about the one moment that made him wanted or felt like he needed to make a WWE return. He said, no, because it's never a thing you're yearning to do, or I was yearning to do. There are a lot of things that had to happen for this pathway to kind of clear. The stars had to align. There had been a full moon. A lot of dominoes fell in order for us to get here. There was never a, man, I'd like to go back. Vince being out of the picture probably illuminated that. That might have been one of the biggest things, and that's both ways for everybody who's going to sensationalize that headline. It wasn't me. It wasn't him. It was just a lot of history there. All of a sudden, one of us is removed from the equation. I think it changed a lot. I also think it changed a lot for Jey Uso, right? Because I don't know if Jey Uso would have been in the spot that he's in right now if it was a situation in which Vince McMahon was still in charge. I think Vince McMahon's removal from power due to the hush money scandal, I think that only benefited Jey Uso and a lot of talent that are under contract right now with WWE. I think the fact that Triple H is leading creative, I think has helped quite a bit. I think it giving talents a lot of creative freedom, a la Jey Uso, I think that has helped a lot. I'm curious to see where they go with Jey Uso going forward, coming out of SummerSlam and everything alike, because Jey Uso is a guy that can be a top star for them, is a guy that I hope that they can see that they have tremendous value in, and someone that they can build around. And I hope he becomes world champion. I just have my big doubts about it. Let me know down in the comments area below whether or not you agree with my take on Jey Uso.